We're live. Okay. So it's recording?
Yes, it is.
Great. Thank you. Hey. So hit the microphone. You want to lead us, sir?
Oh, okay. All right.
Anybody can.
Okay.
We haven't elected any officers yet.
Right. Okay. So, I put this because this is what they have.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Let's
We're gonna do a quick
with the pledge.
pledge.
It's an open meeting, so sorry.
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Prayer. So do, but it probably doesn't hurt.
I'll do it. How about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can bow your heads in prayer. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather today on the Hill Country Energy SRPC, and let us always be mindful. The reason we're here is not for ourselves, but for your glory. And I want to thank you for the long journey getting together to be here in our first meeting. It wasn't easy. And now we look for your guidance as we look to the future and what we could do about a challenge that is presented to us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. That'd be for a Catholic. Yeah. So, I'm just gonna start us right off and say that I'm gonna make a motion that we adopt the Hill Country Energy Sub-Regional Planning Commission bylaws.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Sure what you meant by recognized resolution, so I'll let you lead us through that.
So, each of our counties had a resolution against battery storage or energy storage facilities, which is the whole reason for forming this sub-regional planning committee. And so I just wanted to recognize that each of our counties has one. They're similar. They're not exact. They're similar to just a little bit of wording change, but otherwise, I just wanted to recognize that each of our counties has formed, accepted, and will have on record a resolution. So we just wanted to recognize that that's there because we will be using that as we communicate with state agencies, LCRA, TCEQ, Public Utilities Commission. It's kind of our introduction letter. This is our charge. This is what we're about. And then a letter will go with it. So
Do we need to do a resolution out of our commission
we have one.
with our names, with just our, because ours is not unanimous.
Well, we
People count.
will have to sign off on the bylaws, all
Okay.
members, but I don't think we have to have a resolution.
Okay,
I think we can use the two resolutions from each county as backup and provide that to the state agencies that we plan to meet with.
Yeah.
We might have future resolutions too.
There could be. I mean,
We
I'm
draft.
not sure that it's required,
okay.
but I think the resolutions from each county probably carry more weight than a resolution from this sub-regional planning commission.
And if we find that we need that because of some subject matter experts, then we can always add that. I would think, right?
And just for the public, so you're aware, the one from Kerr County, it was approved unanimously, and it is available on our website. So that's already been shown there. And there's a lot of good stuff in the whole whereas stuff.
Right.
And there's a clear statement that we are opposed to battery energy storage system. Actually, it's energy storage systems. But that's certainly our primary focus is on battery energy storage systems.
Okay.
So again, I believe those resolutions will be helpful when we start meeting with state agencies. So they'll have no doubt what our plan is when we meet with them, and that's basically for none. And then we're going to find out what their plans are for battery energy storage systems. So that's all we need to do to recognize the resolutions.
Yes.
Okay, and then we have to appoint the board members. I guess this is a kind of a formality because our two commissioners' courts have already appointed two commissioners from each county. Kerr County appointed myself and Commissioner Holt. And obviously Kendall County appointed Commissioner McCall and Commissioner Carpenter. So I think we need that motion. And anything formal on that, or?
I believe we should make a motion to accept the court-appointed board members currently sitting.
Is that your motion?
That is my motion.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. No, I gotta record all this, so. Holt. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, that's incumbent on the board members to appoint officers. So we need, there's only four of us. We need a president, vice president, secretary and treasurer. Somebody could have a little of something. And we do have one other position that we intend to fill. Well, there are two. House Representative Wes Verdell will be filling a non-voting position on the board. So whenever he's available, he'll attend. His representative, Barbara Dole Ferguson, is here in the court, just kind of participating, and if need be, she can weigh in on his behalf. For today, I don't think we need any of that because it's largely all administrative. And the other one, we have a position to fill, which is the, what are we calling it? Landowner, agricultural representative. So according to the
Local agreement, Kerr County appoints.
There.
Or what? Is somebody talking?
Just getting feedback there. Sorry.
All right, so Kerr County, the first year, Kerr County gets the task of appointing the landowner representative. And we will have to take that back to our commissioners court. So expect to see that done, a recommendation on the 24th of this month, which is our next regular commissioners court meeting. So we want to get all these positions filled. We have a good candidate. If anybody else last minute wants to be considered, let us know. Commissioner Holt or myself.
So
So
my only recommendation is to maybe one from each county be chair, or sorry, president,
Yeah.
and then vice president. Maybe one from each county to be secretary and treasurer.
Okay.
And yeah, it seems, I think that would probably be smart.
and logically, you want to make a motion on anybody
Yeah, I'm
in
gonna-
particular?
I would like to make a motion for president to be, let me see.
What's your?
Commissioner Paces, maybe, to be president. I'd
I'd
like
if
to,
you want to do it.
No.
and maybe that motion could include yourself as Madam Vice President.
Okay, I think that we'd work together quite
Yeah,
well.
I don't disagree. I'd be happy with that.
Okay.
And, I'm certainly available to either secretary or treasurer. I'm probably more befitting to be the intelligence officer.
And we don't have.
But I don't-
You're already.
I don't know exactly how that fits, but the question really for consideration of the motion is to have Commissioner Carpenter fill one of those roles, whichever you're more comfortable with, secretary or treasurer.
You want my handwriting to be on something?
No.
Have you ever read my writing?
We don't want handwriting.
You have more money in your wallet than
Can
me.
you type?
And I'm comfortable with being secretary and intelligence
Well,
officer.
and we will have another person to appoint that could fill
Correct.
one of those roles. We haven't done that yet.
We
so
haven't.
Sounds like they'd be a great secretary.
Possibly, I don't know.
We can certainly leave that open, and my feelings are not hurt if I'm not appointed to an official role currently,
Well,
just to let you know.
okay, so should we do these one at a time then? Or are we just
One at a time.
appointing? Are we just
No, I
appointing?
mean,
Okay.
he's made a motion. We
Okay.
need a second.
And I'll
then
second
you
his
can-
motion.
You can second a motion to appoint president, vice president, and treasurer. That's what I heard. Sorry? Well, we left, are you leaving that out or you want to be the secretary?
I think we should.
It's your
leave-
motion.
I think, yes. I think we should leave that out based upon the vibes I'm feeling. And then if we have a new member,
Okay.
I think we should have them fill that role.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, is there a second for that motion? Okay. Take a vote. All in favor? Aye. All right. Officers have been appointed.
You got out of that one.
For now. We have big Intel expectations though.
That'll work.
And let me just make some general comments. Because yes, we need to have a treasurer. I think we probably need to go ahead and get a bank account. But we are not looking for any kind of county, state, or federal funding of any type for this. And one of the reasons is because if we accept any of that, they have automatic oversight. We don't want that.
So is that just bake sale?
So we are relying on interested citizens for whatever financial support is required. We don't think it's too great. Some of the little things, Commissioner McCall just bought a camera so he could record these meetings. I paid for the website and got it set up. And what we probably need beyond that, at least that we can identify today, is general financial support for the individual who's been guiding us, who is an expert on Chapter 391 sub-regional planning commissioners, and that is Dan Byfield with American Stewards of Liberty. And he's going to be working closely with us as we go forward in an advisory role. We hope we don't ever need attorneys, and if we do, we'll see what can be done there. But so I guess if you really want to try to support the cause, support American Stewards of Liberty. And there is a link on the website that I've already given you to make it easier to find him. So,
That's the question.
yes, sir.
The only thing that I brought up during our court, when we were passing our interlocal and bylaws, was I want to make sure that our liability policies extend to cover the commissioners that are appointed, so that we're not left out there. And we're still waiting on that answer.
Well, yes and no.
No, I'm waiting on
That's fine.
our county to give me an answer, and
Right.
that would be the only thing. And I may do that as a separate,
Sure.
outside of this committee
Well,
with my courts. Yeah.
I'm just going to inform the commission that I have reached out to Texas Association of County, who provides our insurance.
Okay.
And the liability insurance specifically to our commissioners court. And they said I had a verbal discussion with the gentleman yesterday. And he said that we are covered
Okay.
as commissioners and under this commission, but he promised me an email that would confirm all that, put it in writing. So I haven't seen that yet. When I do receive it, I will share it with
Okay.
the commission.
We're through a different.
Now, and what he also said is,
Good difference.
TAC insurance is specific to Kerr County. So
Right.
if Commissioner Holt or I get sued, they're going to defend us. But they also happen to be your insurer as well. Because Kendall County, he said, but we insure Kendall County as well.
We asked
So,
that, yeah, we asked
It
that
would be
question.
like a separate claim.
Sure. We asked that question a month ago,
Yeah.
2 months ago, and they said until we had the bylaws approved, they couldn't give us an answer. And so that's the discussion that Commissioner McCall and I are involved.
And all I did, I sent them, not the laws, I sent them a copy of our resolution.
Okay.
So by way of background, what are we
Gotcha.
trying to do? And he was very interested, actually. We had a nice discussion about it and, but I haven't
Sounds
seen
good.
it. I haven't seen it in writing and he hasn't asked for bylaws. Happy to share them if so.
Thank you.
So that's the update. Let's see. Okay. Well, you have before you two draft letters that were prepared the last couple of days. One goes to the Public Utility Commission of Texas. The other one is to the Lower Colorado River Authority, both of whom are involved in the grid and in the whole desire to have battery energy storage systems in our counties, which we were opposed to. So I can give you guys a few minutes. Commissioner McCall has seen these.
Okay.
I could only share things with one other person,
I understand.
so she's seen it.
I have
And
the
I think
LCRA.
supports these. We also ran this past Dan Byfield. He thought they looked good. He actually gave us some comments about the time frame that we should offer them. Because initially I wanted them to respond, have the first meeting by February 28th, and he said, you know, that they're gonna come kicking and screaming, and that's not realistic. So you can see that we will propose specific dates, and what we need to agree today, between the four of us at least, is what dates are suitable. And it was suggested that we give them 3 firm dates that we can all be available. And then if they can't make any of those dates, they can come back to us with a date that's not later than March 31st. But go ahead and read them. And these are pretty much the same letter. One's to PUC and one's to LCRA. So you probably don't really have to read them both. Bear with us, folks.
Did you want to call up any of our attorneys and have them provide any comment?
And if that's something you would like to see, you're welcome. Well, which attorneys did you have in mind?
See how the president handles that question.
Which attorneys did you have in mind? Because we are,
Open-ended question.
we're not able to use county resources.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I understood once we formed this.
Yeah, and
It's a-
we are formed now. Both
Yeah, that's
boards
true. I
have
mean,
approved the formation.
outside counsel still costs.
So outside counsel would cost.
So sorry to break your heart, folks. We can't call.
There you go, members. But
We also have to be careful in our language and use our experience to not
well, that's right.
put any undue
Well, one of the
obligation on counties, right?
That's right. And one of the big considerations, I think, for both commissioners' courts, what was that we could be sued and have personal liability for a taking. If somehow we regulate and stop a landowner from a deal that he otherwise might have with a developer. And I just want to make it clear to everybody who may be listening today or in the future. We're not regulating anyone. We don't have any regulatory authority. All we're going to do is try to coordinate with state agencies, and they are the regulators.
Okay.
You know, Kendall County has a fire marshal and they have an adopted fire code. We do not. But even there, you're not regulating.
Right.
You are enforcing a fire code. But
Right.
Anyway.
And we're
So
we're coordinating
But
more than anything.
that's right.
We're coordinating between the state agency and the county. So, that's our main job is just coordination.
And to do studies and to plan, you know, it's just that so far based on, I think, everything that the four of us have researched and seen on this, and we've heard from our constituents, our plan is to not have any of these in Kendall or Kirk County. For all sorts of different concerns that are kind of defined in the resolutions.
Right.
And Kirk County's at least is on the website. Kendall's very similar.
Ours is kind of-
Cannot have a what? Cannot have a what? I just didn't catch it.
I don't know.
You said we
That's-
cannot have,
I don't know.
It's to prevent
Well,
energy storage systems from coming. That's our intent.
Well, our plan is to not have any energy storage systems in Kirk.
Oh.
I think that's what I intended to say, whether I said it or not.
So the main goal of this commission is to be part of the process. So we can't stop anything. However, we can be part of any state agency that any of these facilities will have to go through. They'll have to make us part of the process. And so we can ask those questions. We can ask for those environmental studies or what have you, will be part of that process. So we won't be sidestepped, but anything happening in Kendall or Kerr County, through LCRA, Public Utilities Commission, things like that, will have to come through us as well. And that's the intent. We want to just make sure that the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens in both counties is being considered in these projects. So.
Okay, so back to the letters. If you've had an opportunity to look at them, can we come up with 3 dates that the 4 of us at least can all agree on? Get 1 date in February before the end of the month and 2 dates in March. If you'll check your calendars, please.
I think that last week in February is probably we should be targeting.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Is there a day that works better?
We did kind of put aside time already for a meeting.
Yep.
On the 28th, but it's probably appropriate, that meeting. Well,
Friday.
Friday is the 28th of February, it's
Yeah.
the last day in February. And,
Does the morning
we,
work?
had that afternoon kind of set aside.
Yeah, so
Do you want to
what about
have
Wednesday? I'm wide open on Wednesday.
Do you want to have 2 meetings on HRPC the same week?
Hey, this is all about getting a meeting with either of these agencies.
Yeah.
We can conduct other business, but we need to have dates for them. Now,
Correct.
To meet with us.
I'd be willing to wager you that they're probably going to say they're not available. Particularly on that date.
On the Friday,
If
28th.
you want to still have another meeting on Friday.
Did you guys say Fridays were complete?
Yes, we did.
Usually do.
We did, yeah. So, I already kind of blocked Friday for a meeting.
Okay.
Well, if you want to put Friday on it, on the
Let's
letters.
do that.
Okay.
Uh,
What is that, the
Commissioner
28th?
Carpenter, does that work for you?
Sure.
Most Fridays?
Okay,
I don't see anything on Friday for,
so February 28th. And is that okay, either 10 or 2, or would you want to be more restrictive? I'm trying to give a reasonable amount of flexibility.
I think that's smart.
Any,
Yeah.
Okay, you're good with the, all right. All right, the next date in March?
so what time did you want on that first one? That you said the 28th?
No, it's.
We're just giving them-
Yeah, we're gonna give
Okay.
them the option,
But
so
don't-
block them both out, 10 or 2.
Okay, and don't we just want to go ahead and we're going to plan to meet whether they have come back to us or?
Well, that's a different matter.
Okay.
That's the last agenda point is when is our next meeting? Okay, so the next one in March, what looks good? You want to stick with Fridays?
Mhm.
So the 7th or the 14th?
7th, the spring break.
Let's go. I kind of like going earlier. I don't want to, even though we might be forced into later in the month, we should probably try to keep the heat on to,
I think so.
from our side, suggest earlier dates rather than later.
I think so. That sounds good.
So 7th?
7th would, if it is on the morning, I won't be able to be there. Trust me, if you ever get a dental cleaning with the VA, you can't ever cancel that.
You want to go with a Thursday then? I don't want to interfere with your,
Sorry, it needs to be,
Don't mess with that stuff.
high
that's okay.
demand.
It doesn't have to be.
But if
fine.
you've ever dealt with the VA,
And we have no idea whether they're even going to accept that as a date.
yeah.
So
You
you
give
want
them
to go
the sixth,
Thursday?
You can go to the 6th at 2 or the 7th at 2,
Mm-hmm.
and both of those dates.
Okay. Somebody want to,
I'm good with either one, but the mornings.
That's a tough one for me.
All right, so we'll say 6 or 7 at 2 p.m.
Mhm. If we say this next, I bet that's when we'll be coming, we won't be here. Why don't we say this?
Well, we could do that, just say the 7th at 2 p.m. Or are you going to be all
Yeah.
swelled up and not able to talk?
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I
it's not
see.
gonna be pretty that.
Got it. Okay, all
Okay,
right,
so-
all right, the 6th. Okay, got
So you only want the 6th then?
Yeah.
it, got it.
Okay,
Barbara needs to speak. Can I throw something out?
yes, ma'am.
On March 6th is that symposium in Austin on buses that afternoon.
Oh,
Good.
Well, they'll be there in Austin.
Yeah, but
It's-
we want them to come to meet us as equals. Well, here or in Kendall County, that's,
Not in Austin where they're having the meeting.
no. Well, you know, I was invited by Dan Byfield, but
We want them to come.
to us.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay. But we need to
Well-
maybe write this down. The
he said,
best meeting is on the 6th in
March
Austin.
6th from 10 to 3. It's a symposium.
Being hosted by,
I think the SREC subcommittee on, energy storage systems.
10 to 3.
okay.
We're-
All right, so maybe we just need to skip forward then to the 14th
Okay.
and just offer the 14th.
yeah, I mean, that's a
Be able
pretty
to
good
talk about
meeting for us to represent, which is part of our strategies to attend key meetings like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, so we'll offer, and then can we do the 10 or 2? If we skip ahead to the 14th?
To the 14th.
And then what about the very next Friday, the 21st?
Sure.
Yes,
All my Fridays are.
Okay, so we're gonna finalize a letter to say February 28th, 10 or 2, March 14th, 10 or 2, or March 21st, 10 or 2. And if they don't like any of those dates, they can come back to us with a proposal, but no later than March 31st, is what the letter says.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And then I guess while we're on the subject, we're supposed to alternate between Kerr and Kendall.
Mhm.
So the location could be either courthouse.
Depending on, okay.
Should I, maybe we'll pick like PUC to do it in Kerr County and LCRA in Kendall County? Maybe that's the easier way to do it than try to
Okay.
alternate
I agree.
dates and
So
locations.
LCRA would be.
Because we
with
have
us.
both of them we want to meet with. Is
Okay,
that, does that?
Sure. So PUC is here, LCRA is in Kendall. What you said?
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter which one.
No,
Who
as long
knows?
as we can get them.
Who knows who's
we'll
gonna
go
be the
wherever-
first?
We'll go wherever they like.
Well, we're not gonna give them a choice. So we're gonna
Oh, well.
tell them
Okay,
where
okay.
the meeting is. It's either gonna be Kerr or Kendall County courthouses.
Depending on who gets back.
It's just that, you know, once we hear back from them, we need to reserve the courthouse
Right,
or another location.
okay.
Okay, so I think with that, probably all, sorry.
Can I put in there for that one? Yeah, and then the 28th.
Yes, 28th, the 14th, or the 21st. And I'm going to give the same dates to both of them. We obviously can't meet with both of them, but I'm pretty skeptical that they both agree on the same day.
Yeah,
And if they do, we'll try to get one at 10 and one at 2.
Mhm.
that's a good idea.
So, okay. Okay, before we get on to the next item. Well, maybe we have to go to the next item because that concludes the agenda item 5 and 6. So I'm gonna throw it under other administrative matters and county attorney's not there to tell me I can't say this because it's not on the agenda, but we need to talk about TCEQ and calling a meeting with them. And for the public and anybody who's not aware, Kerr County sent a resolution to TCEQ. What was that? Back in August, I think. Basically telling them we didn't want them to do anything and asking them not to approve any permits associated with battery energy storage facilities. They sent a response. That was September 11th. And they basically said they don't play a role in any approvals. There's not an air permit. There's not a water permit or anything associated with these facilities. So one of the things in our resolution was recycling, and they just said, well, they can offer suggestions on where to recycle these things. So, But I think the real thing that we would like to see TCEQ get involved in is doing an environmental impact assessment or what's the other term for it?
Yes.
EIS
So environmental impact study.
statement or study. Well, either way,
I would like to study.
yeah, it would be great to have a study.
Every location.
We saw a study, you know, we at least heard from a developer up in Harper. And they talked about how they had done a study and there's no concern about a runaway fire on one of these battery facilities.
Yeah, can never be by the developer.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm
Always needs to
glad
be an
that-
independent third party.
That's right. So in this case, I would love to get TCQ to conduct a study.
I think too, that if we send a letter with a resolution, it isn't the same as forming this sub-regional and then approaching
Sure.
them. So
Well-
they may have a different
And I think
response.
this time, you know, we should demand, if we can get away with it, that they conduct an environmental impact assessment or study, whatever, on the fire associated with a battery energy storage system that has a thermal running.
Mhm. Especially when something has been permitted, as they're going through the permit
Well,
process or.
That's the problem. They don't go through a permit process.
Oh, that's right.
Because on the face of it, there's no air quality associated with these things. When they're properly running, they don't have any environmental waste.
Part of the intent to meet with them is to implore them to have a greater role. Sure. Which they currently are not having the role we think they should.
That's right.
And, you know, that might be case study that shows what's happened at other facilities. Like, here's the reason you need to have, be a part of this, because, you know, while you're enjoying some economic benefit, sure, or maybe some grid resiliency benefit from this, the impact could be way more than an $80 million facility with a $500 million cleanup.
Right.
Which is, you know,
That's right.
do that case study and say, try to be convincing as possible.
We're already hearing early reports from the most recent Moss battery fire out in California. Is that Monterey County? And they're talking about soil contamination and water contamination, you know, on a fire that lasted over a week.
Yeah.
And all that water that was put on it. So, and plumes of black, heavy, thick, nasty smoke. That can't be too good for the environment.
Yeah,
Has
that's
it
pretty
ever
good
been
study.
studied? Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
please do.
guessing that people are going to be studying that one, so at some point, we would want to get a copy of that.
Yeah, I've read, and I'll provide that.
TCEQ to study.
I have initial report from scientists on that are, it's being disputed right now by some of the local municipalities. It's local colleges that have done studies and shown where the impact is of heavy metals that are dropping.
So why is it being disputed then?
It's, I think it's a CYA thing, honestly, right now with municipalities that asked and voted for it. I mean, that'll be part of the analysis I
Yeah.
provide,
Sure.
which is the belief or intent behind that, so we understand.
That'd be good.
Well, I'm
Um,
sure there's a lot we don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
they're figuring out as they go to put them out. So we're hoping to get involved before
Sure.
that process.
Mhm. And the challenge really TCEQ is understanding the human network that's in there, right?
Right.
Who do we talk to at TCEQ? Who is that person?
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we get something from the director, but right now what we got is like, hey, not it.
Yeah.
From
That's
that
right.
organization. So I think we need to clearly identify where possibly they could fall and get some names, contacts with them.
Yeah, I don't think today we're ready to
Challenge.
write that letter, but you know,
Correct.
we can get some more facts together on, you know, some of the preliminary studies that you've seen and why we're so concerned
Mhm.
that we are going to be asking TCEQ to look at all of that data and any other data that may or may not be available and do their own analysis.
Yeah.
Because here we are in the hill country, environmentally sensitive area. And we're in a PGMA priority groundwater management area where we have very precious and then declining groundwater available to us. Yeah, but we risk having it contaminated because it's pretty shallow, especially, you know. Where.
So we could start with these two that you have
Yeah, I
addressed.
think those need to
are-
go out, but I guess what I'm asking is others give it a little more consideration, you know, what is the ask for TCEQ?
I would say, first of all, is to understand their role. If we go to Austin, I think we need to meet with TCEQ as senior as we can to understand their role and their people and
Good.
be put in contact with them. Because there's so many different departments within that. They have a regional person that's in charge of this area, but I don't know who that is. So we need to establish and get points of contact and understand their organizations and get a feel for their stance on this, to understand why they would say that in the letter. I don't want to be too confrontational in the early beginning, but it needs to be addressed.
I agree. Good. And I guess before we get totally off the subject, for the public, look, we're new at this. No one up here is an expert. So we're looking for help from the public. You know, anybody who is at all concerned, if you get information, if you have any resources or you know of any experts that would be willing to help us and possibly testify in some of these meetings. That would
Would
be
you
huge.
forward it to the secretary?
Sorry?
Would you forward it to the secretary?
But, no, I mean, seriously, you know, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And who knows what little tidbit of information's out there that could be invaluable to us.
Do you have your contact information for each of you on the website so that people can send?
There is some contact on the website. You need to review the website and look at it because if you want to use a different phone, then I pulled off what I could find on you. So you might prefer some different information and they'll have to let me know sooner rather than later, and I need a photo from you.
I'm still trying to think through the TCEQ part. The involvement with.
Yeah.
You know, the question you asked was, what's the ask from them?
That's the letter that they sent us. If you didn't get it earlier.
I'm sure there's some environmental requirements even through the Public Utility Commission, is there not?
Yeah.
Would there not be any environmental responsibilities from the public utility?
I agree. Part of what we need to know is what is your responsibility at ERCOT when you accept these proposals? Because we don't know what they look for currently in looking at a plan. To say, yes, you can go forward with planning. I know they have certain things they have to do. And it's on the ERCOT website that I found, but I don't know what that means,
Right.
how they review. Right?
And
Guess we'll find out.
didn't I hear that there's a House bill or Senate bill that's looking at putting all that responsibility for, I guess, regulating onto PUC?
Yes.
So that will be better, that they would be a single point of contact, but it's not there yet. Yes, ma'am.
I just have two quick questions. Do we know how much insurance they're required to carry on a facility?
Okay, so interesting question. Having been a part of something that's done high risk stuff before, as far as facilities, there's very few companies that would cover that.
Right.
So
Why would that be?
Marsh, it's most likely Marsh out of Maine,
Okay.
but we don't know that for sure. Every time I've been at different meetings with this, we've asked, who's your insurance and how are you covering it? Because having gone through this with Marsh before, it's very difficult, and there's only certain things they will like to cover, not cover. The question is valid. The answer will be even more interesting. What insurance coverages do you have? And is that reclamation for fire? Or is it just for,
Environmental.
environmental cleanup, or is it just for people that get injured on site?
Liability.
I don't know the depth that they can get that, but you can imagine right now, the grilling that a company like that, which is high risk, would give upon those companies. They can't find standard insurance for these.
Then you should be able to have it.
My second
Hard enough to get
question.
insurance on your.
I'm sorry,
home.
I'm a former insurance agent.
Yeah.
You can't be
All right,
insured.
before, did you have a third one?
I just had a second one. The emergency plan, have they provided a sample emergency plan of what they would do if something happened?
So not every, 2 of the 3 meetings that I've been to talked about, they're gonna have an emergency plan and kind of what it would look like. Key Capture Energy talked a little bit about it, but, it would, in some of these meetings, they can be a little confrontational, right, with the public. So they don't have a lot of time to go through it. They assure you there's an emergency action plan and that how they would cover things at their headquarters. Being that most of these are remotely controlled.
Understood.
My question would be back to the landowner or not the facility owner. Is there any mechanism in government that would require them to have an escrow account for any remediation to anything that goes outside of their property line? If they can't get insurance, that they would have to have proof of ethical remediation.
So there's different models and probably each of them need to be looked at, which is, I mean, a great question to try to dig up answers. Like in the comfort one, one's a lease and one's a sale.
Yeah.
Right?
Repeat.
And they're gonna
the question
have-
So that we get it on the recording.
Yes, the question is, what is put in during a sale of a property from a private owner to the company? What is put in escrow, as an example, to protect the property or the landowner, the new landowner, in case of some catastrophe?
Well, I was thinking
Or
more
through the sale.
of the landowner, if it's the landowner's decision to lease or allow construction of a potentially, we'll just use the word toxic, it's quicker, type of facility, because they're very aware of it, and in one case, they're intentionally aware of it,
Yeah,
there is a liability to them making
Sure.
that decision. If there's something that could happen
Correct.
to the contingent properties, if there were a
Yeah.
disaster.
Look, if there's any landowner that's thinking about leasing their property to one of these
Yes,
and they ever view this video,
yes.
I would highly recommend that they don't lease it. They're gonna do it at all, sell it, because otherwise in this litigious society, you're gonna get sued if there's ever a problem. If you own the land that one of these things got put on and you're leasing it, basically.
there are several of us that know the landowner that I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yes. No
You know,
problem.
is it a lease or did they sell?
There's one is a lease, and that is Key Capture Energy.
Yeah.
Is going on leased property. And then the other is East Point, this is on the comfort site, which is going, and that's a sale, right, on that property. Out here in Mountain Home, that was a sale of the property. And it's unknown currently in Harper, but I believe that was a sale, just hasn't gone through that I know of.
But these are treated like businesses. It's a commercial business as far as the regulations are concerned. So that's the part that's hard to
Yeah.
really stop or
Yeah.
do anything about. So our goal is to get to the agencies that are allowing the permits to stop or at least be part of that process, I guess, because we can't stop it. But can we be part of the process before they get the permit? Yes. And I was going to tell you, in my research on 391s, there was a CREZ line. It was a high transmission line going through Mason. And Mason had been added to that line. And I know it's not battery storage. However, they formed a 391 sub-regional, which is what we formed. And just knowing that that had been added and that part of the line had a 391, that company pulled out because they knew that the sub-regional could ask for environmental studies and things like that. We can be at the table to ask instead of this just coming into our county, because it is kind of considered a business. They don't have a whole lot of regulation, as far as I know, that they have to adhere to. So just forming this and being able to have a seat at the table is one of the biggest parts so that we can say, hey, we are considering the health, safety and welfare of our community. What kind of environmental studies do you have for this? And so just being at the table is just the biggest part.
And
I
also,
could just take it down or bring it way down to just a citizen in the town of Ferville. Spoke with Commissioner Holt a couple years ago. I had to pay a whole bunch because my trees were going through communication lines that ran across my property pole to pole. And anything that happened between the pole, if it impacted my neighbors up the hill on me. And it just seems, well, if that happened, let's put that out there that whatever those people chose to just release their sale on their property and it impacts their neighbors. Why wouldn't the same apply exponentially?
No.
I used to pay better.
everyone needs to understand, we cannot ask a developer to come and meet with us. A 391 gives us the authority to require any state or federal agency to come and meet with us to coordinate plans. You can't ask for a developer to come. I mean, I guess you could ask, but they have no obligation whatsoever and they could easily blow us off.
Right.
Now, I want to add that Kendall County, we hired a independent outside fire expert to help us develop a plan, energy storage. And he's been working with our fire marshal, and we'll share that with all of you that are interested when that's hammered out. But it also covers hazard mitigation analysis so that if something happens, we're not just taking the word from the energy company like Key Capture or East Point. Any plan that they submit to Kendall County is going to go through a review process outside of our fire marshal's office. But we are working on a actual document that will direct energy storage developments in our county. And some of this is, I've been working with Commissioner Weeson on some of these things. So with the way the quorum rules work, there could be stuff that's been going on in both counties that we're not aware of as a group because it's been, it's been more in the private. We can't, even now that we have a commission, we can't have more than two of us discuss the same topic without doing it in front of y'all. So we're subject to the same rules as we were as commissioners in our own courthouse. So, but we have this guide that we're about to post. So we'll share that with y'all.
Yeah. Well, and I think a point of order is members of the commission, I believe, can share information. We just can't discuss it outside of an open meeting.
Right.
Right. So now how we share information, I think we have to be a little bit careful. And ideally we go, through maybe the secretary whenever we get one and that they blind copy us all. But I would just urge you to never reply to one of those informational emails. But there's no reason why we can't have that information. Give a public comment, sir. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, there are two questions. Would this 391 be able to join or share information with other 391s throughout the state, like the one in Van Zant, that are fighting the same thing within the confines that you're speaking? Like you said that there's like limitations on how much
This is a public meeting. So everything that we say and do here is public information. So anybody can view it. I mean, that's the whole idea of having a Teams recording so that other people can see what was deliberated. And any documents that we prepare and issue will become public documents. And just like these letters, when they get finalized and issued, they're going to go up on the website.
So, but like if you wanted to, because I know Audrina's trip in Van Zant County, they have the same thing going on. And
Yeah.
it would seem like throughout the state, if there were these similar, that'd be really nice that maybe your group has found out this tidbit and they
Sure.
found that tidbit,
that could be helpful. So I was just wondering about that. And the second part is, are you aware of, you had mentioned the Senate and House bills that are dealing with this situation? So I know Wes and Troxclair are working on something, and I know Bob Hall's working on something within the Senate. So are they aware of what your efforts are with regard to all this?
Yes. I spoke to him personally about it
Yeah,
at
we
the
have.
Capitol just last week, and I'd say I'd probably, from our point with our state representative, I'm pretty good contact with him. For Troxclair, I assume they are as well. But Wes has an interest in this. I
Right.
know that for sure, which is why he wants to be on the board. And we keep him informed on what we're doing.
And we would love to see much greater regulation of these and within the legislation. Certainly, it would be very helpful if the counties actually played a role in the approval process. As we would, for example, in a subdivision. But right now, we don't play any role whatsoever in approving these things. So that would take legislative change. So, and that's the whole point of having Representative Riddell on this commission.
I'm gonna meet with Representative Troxclair next week, and I'll make sure she knows,
Sure.
in case she doesn't,
Her,
since she's working.
so I've spoken with Cheryl Grosso and also her other assistant about the process of what we are doing, and that we're in the stages of forming it. So I'm sure in one way or another she's aware, but didn't hurt to hear it from other people.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, something you said earlier struck me. You said that these are commercial, businesses. So does that mean that the land that they're going on is subject to zoning regulations? And how is it
If they
zoned?
put it in an incorporated city, they would be.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the unincorporated area of the county, which they're targeting, because there are no zoning issues.
That's what I was trying
You know, I
to
mean,
figure out.
if they wanted to put one in downtown Kerrville, city council could come up with a new ordinance that says yay or nay, or requires certain things, but that's exactly why they target small counties that are unincorporated, that generally don't have fire codes or fire marshals.
So I had heard that East Point, I believe it was East Point, approached the city of Bernie, and they gave them all of the regulations and things they would have to follow, and nothing happened. So
Yeah.
they didn't tell them no, is what I heard, but they have so many regulations, that's not what they want. So they're going where they don't have to deal with that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I like to bring it back to insurance, the liability of the owner of the property. They have a liability. It's like if I have a house and I rent out that house
Right.
to that owner, they're supposed to have their own liability, but I'm still
Sure.
liable for
would
what
be.
they do. So
If
they
if
should
you're
have to
leasing
have.
land to them, you have some liability.
They should have to have at least an umbrella policy. And then there's also, can landowners be suing them? Because I guess you can do what you want with your property as long as it doesn't affect other people, but it's affecting other people. It is affecting their peace and, their health and their safety. They should be able to sue them out of business. Everybody should be able to sue them.
Hey, anybody can sue anybody, right? Whether you would be successful, that's up to the courts to decide. So
So it also goes back to the liability of the company also, who's doing it.
But
What
until
kind
there's
of
an
liability
incident-
policy do they have?
until there's an incident, you can't file a claim.
No, they have to have insurance though.
But
Sure they would, but-
we can't force the landowner to have insurance, and we can't force.
Why can't you? Yeah, they force
We
us to
have-
have
we have
car
not had
insurance,
any
homeowners
regulations.
insurance.
Those are civil suits between landowners. We have nothing to do with a transaction of the land being sold. We have no way of in fact, we could be liable for,
So
I don't know how you would say.
as
it.
you
Stopping.
well know, each state has a director of insurance, right? And each state director of insurance says for a certain business or a person, what the limits of liability have to be. We have not heard yet, we have not been briefed on what those insurance requirements are held by the state, which is why we intend to bring them and say part of the approval process will be, what are you asking for coverages on insurance?
Or forcing them to have
Yeah.
an opinion about it.
So I would believe that exists somewhere within the Texas DOI. Not sure what it is. You know, they don't really disclose that. Having gone through that before personally with a company in the state. Yeah, I mean, it was, are we gonna pass and get insurance or not? Because it's high risk. It's probably very dicey. Which is why it doesn't get discussed in public forums.
Okay, let's, real nice Q&A with the public. All right, let's talk about a few other administrative matters. All right, so where's my list? Okay, so we have a website. Mentioned already that everybody needs to look at it, and if you're not happy with the information that's out there, let me know.
Should we tell them what that is?
I've already done that, but
Oh.
one more time, we do have a website. It's www.HCESRPC.com. So we will try to keep you informed, and you'll see documents there. Bear with us because we're just getting it up and running, so it's going to take.
Or and the videos.
And the video, I hope will get posted there. Okay, so let's see, what other administrative matters? I think, Mr. Treasurer, you're gonna have to maybe setting up an account. I don't really expect that there's gonna be a lot of financial transactions, but
I'm hoping we don't have to do that at all.
well, I don't
So should we do it if we?
do it anyway, or just wait until
I'm
somebody
hearing,
writes a check and
I'm hearing the moment we start taking funds from the public,
Yeah.
the governor has more
No.
oversight over.
not if it's a public donation.
Okay.
Private,
Okay.
only if it's, private donation. If we take funds from the government, any kind of grant,
Auditable.
or, if you ask the county to give us funds,
Okay.
then you've created that audit requirement and given the governor an opportunity to have some
I'll
oversight.
have both of our auditors talk to each other, find out how we set up a,
Did our auditor say that?
I know,
Oh, okay.
I'll look into it and figure it
Yeah,
out.
I mean. Yeah, and I think once we get clarification from our TAC insurance representatives that we have liability coverage, hopefully we don't have to worry about hiring lawyers to defend ourselves. That's no joke, yeah. No, it's not. We're serious. Let's see. What other administrative matters do we need to sort out and agree? Oh, a mailbox. I think what I plan to do, and we'll post that on the website, is I'm gonna use 700.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it can be directed to the president, and they'll know who that is, and I'll get it and be able to scan it and share it. So I don't think there really is a requirement to have a separate dedicated mailbox that I don't have the time to go check. And probably nobody else wants to.
It's a good idea.
Let's see. What about, I heard that there was a Mason County 501c3 organization and wanted to adopt it, include it.
Yes, I need to contact, just in researching the Mason County issue. The gentleman I found in an article, just after speaking with him, they fought that Crestline back in 2009. And they set up a nonprofit, and right now it's an arduous task to set up a nonprofit. They have not been using theirs, and they've offered to let us use their nonprofit. So it's in good standing. So I just need to reach back out. It's been kind of crazy getting this started. So I'll just need to talk with him about that. But they've talked to their board and they offered to let us use it.
I think we probably should see what's involved.
Yes, okay,
If it's not particularly onerous, maybe we should just go ahead and do it in case.
okay.
I don't know that we're gonna need it, but better safe than sorry, I guess. There's no cost associated with that.
Okay.
There could be some reporting requirements, which would be the only issue.
Right, okay.
Okay, any other administrative things? Before we get to public comments, let's go ahead now and set our next meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know what we're gonna hear back from PUC and LCRA. So I think we need to have a kind of a standing meeting. I think it was deliberated and discussed. It should be at least once a month.
Yeah. I
It
think
may need to be a little bit more often in the first month or two to get things up and running properly. So any suggestions?
I had written down the 28th.
Okay,
That's
I'm good with that.
2 weeks from today.
And let's see. Let's, look, we're gonna suggest that as a date for
you're right.
either or both of the companies. So
Good idea.
let's go ahead and meet regardless. Is there a preference for morning versus afternoon? I don't care.
Early afternoon, 1 or 2.
Okay, I like two.
Okay.
Two? Okay,
So it'll be in Kendall County?
yes,
Okay.
you're supposed to alternate, so you'll need to verify.
I don't think I should do it.
No, you didn't. That's not, I must have left it in my office. So next meeting is February 28th at 2 PM in Kendall County. And you'll reserve a room or
Yes. And we'll put it on the website and then we'll have to post it on the courthouse.
yes.
So.
Yeah, we'll post it
A
on
couple places.
both courthouses.
Right.
And Mr. President, an agenda for that, we need considerations.
We'll get it.
It'll come later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll work with the VP on that.
How did he? What? How did we not put him in?
I know, well, it's not too
How
late.
did he do that?
We can resist that motion right here.
I am expected to give an intel brief that shows where all of the
Good.
possible targets are, you know, trying to be prepared.
All right.
But more importantly, where the ones that are going in contiguous counties are involved. Because they are now reaching out to us. While we had this meeting, the Bandera Commission was interested in B91.
Oh, okay.
Did you actually hear, I heard from a citizen of Bandera County asking if we would be willing, but not a commissioner. I haven't heard from
So
any commissioners.
the more we generate this, the more we
There's
establish
likely to be.
contacts out.
And I think the answer is we could consider it, but I think we would have to take that decision back to both of our commissioner courts,
Yeah.
Kerr and Kendall, for
Correct.
adding anybody.
So, yeah, I mean, I know I'm currently prepared to talk about where the sites are, and what they are in contiguous counties.
Sure.
And our two counties, with a little more preparation, we could talk about the human, connections within the two organizations of LCRA and,
Okay. Good.
TCQ is a little harder, and we'll keep working on that.
Okay. Good. All right. Let's go ahead. We've had a lot of public interaction, which I'm good with that as long as it doesn't get too out of control. But now we have a formal, if anybody from the public wants to make any comments, but we need to turn the camera around and then identify who's speaking. So does anybody want to make any public comments that you haven't already made?
I just got a question. Are you guys all going to that symposium that Barbara was talking about?
Want to turn it around?
There we go.
Did you see him?
We can.
I'm Stan Childs, live in precinct 3, Jeff Holtz precinct. Are you guys all gonna be at the symposium that Barbara was talking about, was it March 6th, I think?
We talked about attending key meetings, you know, for all of us to attend a key meeting outside might be a lot to ask. But we intended on how we can send certain personnel to represent.
Okay. I'll try to go. I'm not making any promises yet. And, I guess worst case.
Does Barb,
post
do you
it on
know
notice.
if it's gonna be recorded and, do you know that, Barbara?
I don't know that yet. I have it on my calendar to
Yeah.
attend, and as Representative Riddell is a non-voting member of the committee, would certainly be happy to write up a little briefing if you folks aren't able to attend.
Oh, that'd be great.
Sounds good. Any other public comments?
Yes, we did well.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, with that, well, I was really looking for an attaboy or.
Yeah.
With that, the meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you.
Thank you.
Ah, there's my desk.
Yeah. Happy Heart Day. It's a lot of heart.
He was-